So I painted my Bonneville last year. One thing I didn't do is my chain guard. It's looking a bit tatty. Should we sort that out? Looks like at some point somebody's had a slightly loose chain on this. A bit of scarring in there. Not that it matters, it's still in one piece on the inside, nobody will ever see it.
Minutes later.
Right, it's took me about 15 minutes in the bath to get rid of 47 years worth of chain lube, but I think we've got it all. There's a slight ripple in the metalwork there, you can see. I'm not overly concerned about it because it's at the back and you won't see it, but I will straighten it a little bit, and I'm just going to do a bit of fettling. But overall it's not in bad condition. I was going to get the hammer out, but literally I'm just sat here doing that. And we're getting there. Pull that out a bit. Smash the camera. No, that ain't far off, is it? Ain't far off at all. Got a bit of a ding on there. You know what, that'll do for me. Dissolve paint, let's try a bit of fire on it. Twofold, it'll help burn the grease off as well. Fire! And that's going.
One eternity later.
So I've had to get that bloody hot to get some of that stuff off, so I think it was actually powder coat on there. But we've got 95% of it out of there, so I'm going to let it cool down and then I'll sand out the middly bit and sand out the rest of it. Ready for painting.
5 minutes later.
Right, let's have a degrease. Right, I'm going to use a bit of fur tan. It says 24 hours at 20 degrees, so we'll give it a couple of days because it's a little bit cooler and a bit like damp and horrible, and we'll try and get this rust to neutralise a bit. There we go. That'll do its thing for a couple of days.
2 days later.
So the rust converter's done its job. I'll give that a scrub off and then give it a sand down ready to paint. That'll do. So degrease, I'm going to prime it, black it, and then I'll bring you back in to see what I'm going to do next.
All black, like the procession of night that leads us into the valley of despair.
Right, I've printed off a couple of designs on some water decal transfer stuff. The old, like you used to get with your Airfix model kits. Because this has gone on a black surface, I'm flipped the image, hence why the Union Jack's the wrong way round, and I'm now going to spray some white acrylic over it, just so when it's flicked back over the right way around on the black, the colours don't get washed out with the black surface. So I'm just going to use an airbrush, bit of white on there, give it an hour or so just to let it cure off. Right, that'll do. It's a couple of coats, a couple of spares. Give that a couple of hours to dry out. Lots of couples today, and then we'll get them fitted, applied, put on, whatever you call it. I don't know.
Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
Right, so we have everything precariously balanced. We've got some warm water. Water on there. Put our transfer thing in there. A few seconds. It's start to go yet? Not quite. There we go, it's moving. About there, I reckon, maybe. Not far off there, are we? We've got all the air bubbles out. That's that one done. I want to get Bapper on there as well. And get you round a bit. Let's move you over. Yep, and he's sliding off already. Oh, no, no, he's all right there, I think, actually. Accidentally on purpose moved him. So, a little bit of black with the airbrush, job's a fish. What I'm going to do now, just edge him with a bit of black. think that'll do us there. That's come out quite well. It's not looking too bad, bit of an edge on there, you can just see. We shall sort out. In fact, that's folded under. You can see it's just folded under a little bit. Let's see if we can sort that out. There's a way I can do that.
1 minute later.
Yeah, he looks better now. A couple of little dots in there, but I can live with that. It's only a mudguard. Right, we are now going to leave that overnight to dry out, and we'll come back to it tomorrow, get some clear coat on.
The next day.
Right, there we have some clear coat on. So I'm going to leave that 24 hours to cure. Rather than watching me paint stuff anyway, I thought I'd show you the stuff that I use. Right, so for my basic colouring, I just use like generic Halford spray cans, you know, the primers and everything that come with it all, and this sort of stuff. If I'm doing a bit more custom jobs, then I will go custom cans on eBay, use their sort of stuff because I do nice flakes and that. That's a panel wipe I use. That's lasted me about a year, maybe a bit longer. Decent stuff for degreasing. And this is my go-to for clear coat. Comes in various size cans. Because it is 2-pack, you've got the little pull thing on the bottom to activate it. Buy it as you need it. I've found that the cans can go off after a couple of weeks, a few weeks sat on the shelf doing nothing. So buy it fresh, it works a hell of a lot better. And you can actually get really good results with it. As you can see on the bapper there. Bit of effort, comes out really nice. So we'll leave that 24 hours as I said, and then we'll get around to polishing it and getting it back on the bike.
Tomorrow.
Right, got my soapy water. All I'm going to do is smack it with a bit of 1500 grit and then a bit of compound, polish it up with a bit of protective stuff. Nothing too serious, got to remember. It's only a bloody chain guard. It'll be out of sight and out of mind, this thing. And the old teacup. And the reason why I've got gloves on is I can constantly smell this stuff on my hands when I've used it, even when I've washed them. Finally some of this resin polish stuff, and it works quite well. Just leave that to dry for a couple of minutes.
1 minute later.
So that's come out quite well. Let's get it back on the bike. See if we can get it on without scratching it now. Too far. So we're back. So there we are then. 47-year-old mudguard, tidied up, looking a little bit more loved. Not a brilliant job, but it's better than it was. Thanks for watching.